Good morning and welcome to Let's Talk Real Estate, presented by the Cisneros Realty Group at Keller Williams, servicing the New Hampshire Lakes and White Mountains regions. Today's show is sponsored by Blue Water Mortgage, Summit Title, and Allstate Insurance, the Joe Suazo office in Derry, New Hampshire. Time to join our host and Let's Talk Real Estate on 101.5 WEEI Sports Radio, Lakes Region.
Corina, 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 I love you so.
And we're back with our focus on Laconia. With me now, very special guest. Most of you know who he is. His name is Charlie St. Clair. Charlie St. Clair is Executive Director of Laconia Motorcycle Week. And today is June 8th. And today is the start of Motorcycle Week. Welcome, Charlie.
Well, thank you very much. And welcome, obviously, to all of the many visitors that are here for the official start of Motorcycle Week, even though a lot of activities started yesterday, Friday. This is the big day, the kickoff.
So, I didn't mention, but Charlie has been the executive director full-time since 1992. Charlie, how can somebody be full-time in that one position for so long? I mean, you must have had a lot of challenges along the way.
Well, I would think it's an illness, quite frankly. But
Okay.
perhaps with therapy.
Okay.
As I told you off air, my MO had always been to stick with a job for 4 or 5 years and try something else. But this job has been such a challenge, and it continues to be a challenge, that I've been, I guess, maybe stepping up to meet that challenge.
Give me an example of one challenge.
Different faces in state government, local government. A lot of times you have to reinvent the wheel, or try not to have to do that. And constantly remind people of things that have taken place before, why they took place before, why we don't need to visit that again,
Okay.
or maybe we do need to visit it again.
So tell us, for the audience who is new to the area or who's thinking about coming to live in the area, what's the history of Motorcycle Week? How did that get started?
Well, the event started officially in 1916. And that was with a group of riders coming up from Massachusetts with Weirs Beach as their destination. And that was a tour that was an organized tour by the Federation of American Motorcyclists and dealers, in the Massachusetts area. And riding 100 miles from Boston or anywhere from Springfield, Massachusetts, on the road system back in 1916 was a challenge. The roads were not what we have today. And that was the official, again, organized start of Laconia. And the championship races were brought here in 1938. So before 38, it was really just a tour. And, of course, with the destination of Weirs Beach, the Lakes region, a beautiful area, that was easy. That was an easy goal for people to say, or a target, I should say, this is where we're going. And so from there, it was pretty steady. We missed several years. We certainly don't count the years of World War II. The events were canceled then from 42 through 45. And we had some other situations, including what some would call a police riot in 1965.
Okay, hold that thought for a minute. You are listening to Let's Talk Real Estate on WEEI 101.5 Sports Radio Lakes Region. With me is Charlie St. Clair. Okay, Charlie.
Okay, so there were different events where I think the last year the rally, the official events were canceled was 1975. So those years don't count. So a lot of times, this is our 96 year. Sometimes people will count back 96 years and say, oh, wait a minute, it started in 23, not 16. But that's how we do the math.
So let me ask you a question. You said something about championship races. Are we
Right.
doing that today?
We have. So it's much like NASCAR, where they have races around the country and they go towards points. The AMA, American Motorcycle Association, was holding the races here up until I want to say 2003, 2004. And because of a disagreement with the track in Loudon, much over the way the course is laid out, the AMA pulled their races out, but they still have motorcycle racing, and yes, you could call it a championship because there's a winner that's awarded, the first prize. So yes, we still have pro racing down there at the track, and we have other types of racing too.
Charlie, what are you most proud of with your involvement with the Motorcycle Week?
Well, with the help of a lot of other people, we were able to bring back, because referring back to 1965, after the unfortunate problems in 1965, Motorcycle Week disappeared. It became a 3-day, or actually a 2.5-day event called Motorcycle Weekend. And that stayed like that from 66 through 1990. And visitors to our state were not treated very, let's say they weren't treated with open arms that came up here for the motorcycle event.
Yes.
And we turned that around with a lot of help starting in 1991. So 1991 Motorcycle Weekend then went back to being Motorcycle Week, and I'm very pleased and proud of the fact that we brought back what was here. We've made Laconia a destination for all these visitors from all around the world, and with all the benefits that go with that. But granted, there's a lot of work. Some people don't like it, but that's all good.
We'll be right back with more Let's Talk Real Estate after this on 101.5 WEEI Sports Radio, Lakes Region. And we are back with Charlie St. Clair, Executive Director of Laconia Motorcycle Week. Charlie, you told us an amazing history of Motorcycle Week. How is Motorcycle Week today compared to 25 years ago?
Boy, I have to do my quick thing. So 25 years ago, I've been in the around 94, maybe 93. We've grown considerably in population, but at the same time, our biggest year, because everybody's about numbers, so the biggest attendance we ever had here from our records was 2004. The economy was humming along wonderfully then. The weather that year, and weather always plays a factor. We had a thunderstorm Wednesday afternoon. We had a thunderstorm, and the rest of the week it was very warm and beautiful. So that year was great. What's happened since then? Now they're like weeds, motorcycle events all over the country. And so when I started this job full time in '92, there were approximately 50 other motorcycle events nationwide that could call themselves like a rally or something that would make people go out of the way to go there. Now there's over 850.
Wow.
And some of those actually take place the same time Laconia is going. So a lot of times people think that, people come here like birds come north in the spring. It's not like that. I wish it was, but it's not. So we have so much competition out there that we really, really have to be very up on our game of marketing, and we have to really put our boots to the ground, so to speak, across the board.
Okay, what do you think's been the impact of Motorcycle Week in the local real estate market over the years?
Well, the real estate market, some people might go, huh? What are you talking about? Well, obviously, there are people that get a little extra income if they rent their homes out, and I'm not talking about a B&B, is that what you call it, or something like that? I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about where people will open up their homes for 1 week of the year.
Correct.
It's just a one-spot shot. But there's also people, let me go back there. Also, a lot of the motels and hotels charge more money this week
Yes.
than they ever have for NASCAR or anything else. So there's that to keep in mind, too. But it's a fact. There are people that have, because of their exposure to the Lakes region or central New Hampshire, who have fallen in love with it and actually moved here because of their exposure during Motorcycle Week. And this isn't just recent. This goes back in time, right back into the 20s, where people that I've met, a lot of those people are gone now, have passed on, but who, again, moved here specifically because of the exposure. And that's a great thing for us. I mean, we want to get people moving to the state for whatever reason, and this is as good a reason as any.
Okay. All right. What do you say to local residents who dread Motorcycle Week because of the things that they don't like about it? How do you tackle that?
Well, you're never going to change what some people don't like about large crowds and traffic congestion in certain areas and things like that. I know one of the complaints is, the noise, the loud motorcycles, and there are certainly motorcyclists that abuse the sound that their motorcycles puts out, and that's not just during Motorcycle Week. That's all the time. Granted,
Right.
there are more people here then, and that has been the bane of my life because it's so unnecessary. So we do the best we can, and public safety people do what the best they can. Is again, those people are just crying out for attention, basically saying, "Look at me, look at me, look at me." So that's why people do it. I think I can't think of any other reason.
Now, do you own a motorcycle?
I do.
Okay. What do you think about people using or not using helmets?
I think that's a matter of personal choice. I guess I would ask the same question for people in cars.
Right.
Do you use a helmet or do you not? That's totally up to them.
Okay, good. If there was one thing, if you had a magic wand that you and you could have a wish or to change something for Motorcycle Week, what would that one thing, if you were almighty, that you would like to do with Motorcycle Week?
If I'm almighty, in other words, it's so far out of the box, my fantasy would obviously be two things, actually.
Yes.
Most importantly, that everybody has a completely safe week so that people pay attention in traffic and make right choices and things like that. That's the number one. And then after that, it's a no-brainer. We would like the weather to be perfect, but we would like the weather myself to be perfect all year long, so I wouldn't just restrict it to the 1 week.
Is there anything else you'd like to change in terms of operations or regulations that would make, in your view, Motorcycle Week even better?
I think I really am very pleased with the changes we've been making. It's an ongoing process as things might change and need to be tweaked one way or the other. But I feel very fortunate that we've had such great cooperation with our local officials and state and county officials. So we always keep working together, and that's good.
All right. You have the last word. What would be your one message to everybody who's listening? Today is June 8th, and Motorcycle Week starts today.
Get out there and enjoy everything. If you're a rider, go out and ride, and visit everything there is to visit. And for our residents, again, for the riders too, be safe. And for our residents, come up and visit and see what it's all about if you haven't been up there.
Charlie, thank you so much for coming on today's show. It's been an honor.
No, the pleasure is all mine. Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay, join me next Saturday morning at 8:30 a.m. for another episode of Let's Talk Real Estate, where we share with you important information that will help you with either buying or selling your home. And if you or someone you know is looking to purchase a new home or sell, call me at 603-273-6160 for a free market valuation of your home. You can also visit our website at nhlakes.com. And breaking news, you can now subscribe to the podcast of this show on iTunes and Google Play and see our show on YouTube or on our Facebook page. And remember, mi casa es su casa, and my name is Corina, like the song Corina, Corina. Until next week, play my song.
Corina, Corina.
Let's Talk Real Estate is presented by the Cisneros Realty Group and sponsored by Blue Water Mortgage, Summit Title, and Allstate Insurance, the Joe Suazo office in Derry, New Hampshire. Let's Talk Real Estate is a production of Modern Media LLC, CRG TV, and MR Strategic Alliance LLC, all rights reserved. Join us every Saturday morning at 8:30 and Let's Talk Real Estate with Corina Cisneros, Realtor, on WEEI 101.5 Sports Radio Lakes Region.